Jah! RSTAFARI. Oh, excellent is thy name, thou hast set thy glory above the heavens. For out of the mouths of babes and sucklings.
The clean hands and the pure in heart, they shall lead to see Jah. They shall lead to see Jah. They shall lead to see Jah. So set up yourself, youth man. Oh, yes, shalom, salamta. Peace, greetings, and into the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Hayle Selassie I. Seen? And this Christ, Yahushua HaMoshiach. Seen? So, yeah man, right now we're reverencing the day, May 5th, 2013, the original day, May 5th, 1941, the day of victory for Ethiopia. So, if you're tuning into this video for the first time, give thanks. But I would suggest that you go on the channel, you know, or the playlist, and just watch or listen to video 1 coming up, because this is a continuation. And we're continuing on, excuse me, you all, in the words of His Imperial Majesty QEDEMAWI Hayle Selassie on this very same day. And we just finished a part of his speech inside of the book called the Third Testament, the Elect Verses, the Selected Speeches of Emperor Hayle Selassie I of Ethiopia, published by Frontline Books, Research and Associates, and School Time Publications. We were on page 336, but we previously read in the past video the subtitle called Thousands Perished, on page 334, and the video before that, the beginning of the speech. Seen? So right now we're reading from the subtitle called Formidable Adversaries. So His Imperial Majesty reminded us about what happened during those 5 years of the Italian aggression against Holy Ethiopia, and he reminded us of why it's important to remember that. And he also is showing us now what we should be aware of, and then how we should act, how we should conduct I self in today. And keep in mind, this isn't just a physical victory, but a spiritual and a mental victory as well, that is given to us by the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, and also by the Lamb of Yah. Seen? Formidable adversaries, as I'm going to read in His Imperial Majesty's words. It says, "You were able to destroy the enemy who were superior to you in number and equipment, because you are a people possessed of bravery and mercy, and because you cooperated and knew the stratagems of war." Now he's talking to the Ethiopian, the faithful and true loyal Ethiopians. He goes on to say, "The British troops who were fighting for human rights on other fronts of the war, which is also in Libya, needed time to get ready to come to the assistance of Ethiopia and free her. But you, warriors of Ethiopia, harassed the enemy by cutting his communications, by harrying him and restricting him to his fortifications." That would be called terrorism, according to the totalitarian state of fascist Rome in Ethiopia. That would be terrorism against that state. So just pre these things, these people are fighting for their freedom. I and our ancestors were fighting for our freedom and to keep our victory, because there was never really a victory for Mussolini. Look how he died. He never really controlled Ethiopia. He only spent a lot of money wasting it, trying to control Ethiopia and other North African countries as well. Seen? So, kind of crumbled himself. He himself. Because Ha-Shaitan's kingdom shall not stand. It's going to fall. So let's continue. In the words of His Imperial Majesty, he says, "In spite of great numbers of troops in which he put his trust, he realized that Ethiopian people from one end to the other hated him and his rule.
He knew also, we don't hate Ha-Shaitan? I do. So, you know, me not look for deal with the lower one. We burn him out and throw him in Gehenna. See him, put him underfoot. Take him off from all of these high places and put him underfoot where he belongs. So, he knew also that it was impossible for him to live in such a country and in the midst of such a people, even by using poison gas and bombs, and by his atrocities he could no longer hope to enjoy an overlordship of a country the inside of which was undermined. He realized that the soldiers who surrounded him were adversaries more powerful than he was. He spent one daring, I think that's one there, but it's cut off. It says one daring and the money that were left to him to meet his adversaries. Then he looked around if perchance he could find somewhere where he could take shelter in Ethiopia, but he could find no shelter. When the time came, our great ally, the British government, prepared to launch a proper attack against our enemy. As soon as I knew this, I left for the distant land of the Sudan, which borders us in the west, and entered central Gojam. Now Sudan was under British control at that time, if I'm not mistaken. It says in Gojam, our enemy had strong fortified positions, powerful troops, aeroplanes, and artillery. On comparing the number of our soldiers with that of the enemy, we found that we had 1 soldier for every 20 of his. 1 to 20, outnumbered. That's how it kind of is today with iniquity and in the mind states of the people and the remnant that's left behind. Yeah, so let's keep going. The remnant of righteousness, might I say. A righteous people called by the Most High. It's like 1 to 20, just like this. But let's continue in the words of His Imperial Majesty QEDEMAWI HAYLE SELASSIE. He says, moreover, we had no artillery and aircraft that we could dispose of at will. The fact that I was found in the midst of my warriors at once attracted many thousands of men, and their fear and anxiety of our enemy increased to that extent. While my soldiers were harassing and cutting the enemy's communications, and after having driven his troops across the Abai or Blue Nile, were pursuing them towards Shoa and Begamder, I heard the good news. He heard the Wengel that the British Imperial troops had, with incomparable speed, occupied our capital city and were pushing towards Desi in the north and Jimma in the south. In the same way, the troops who started from the Sudan destroyed the fortress at Keren with wonderful force and utterly defeated the enemy. And as the time came for my return to my capital, I mustered my soldiers, who were scattered in every direction in pursuit of our enemies, and find myself in my capital today. I am exceedingly happy that I have been able to arrive here at the head of my soldiers, the enemy who was found on my path being defeated. We have the victory already, you know, people. So the enemy who was found on I-NIVERSE's path being defeated, and to break the power of the common foe. I am deeply thankful to the Almighty Yah, to IGZIABEHER Amlak Ahadu, to Yahweh El Shaddai, that I stand today in your midst in my palace, from which the fascist government has fled. Amen. We will be continuing, but we have to recognize here, these words is powerful, you know. Powerful words, you know. No matter if the enemy is overcoming I 1 to 20, for every one of us is 20 of them. We have to hold to the truth, and we will be delivered. No matter if it says the Father teach I, Abba Kidus teach I, fear not those who can hurt the flesh. but fear him who can hurt both flesh and spirit. Seen? So we have to really recognize that we have the victory already no matter what. You know, keep the victory, my people, because there's a new day approaching. Every day is a new day approaching. The days are at hand and the nights are far spent, my people. We have to continue to keep enthroned the victory of righteousness over unrighteousness, or righteousness over wickedness. And we have to continue to keep enthroned within our spirit the spirit of truth and the spirit of holiness over the spirit of sin, iniquity, and filth. And we also have to treat I-NIVERSE brothers as we would love to be treated, you know, and respect that and uphold that and teach that and think about that, you know. So today is a great day. Today is the day of victory for I as Rastafari, and it is the victory for those Ethiopians at home and abroad, and it is the victory of sovereignty over injustice, and or justice over injustice, and sovereignty over captivity. You know, take off the yoke. Seen? Make us stand up. So bless the Almighty. Look out for another part. Seen? Oh.